Hi, my name is Danielle McAllister, and I'm a hearing instrument specialist at Hearing Solutions. Today I'm going to walk you through the most common signs of hearing loss and what that may look like in everyday life. Hearing loss develops gradually, which means many people don't notice it right away. Instead, it shows up in small everyday moments that are easy to brush off. As we go through these signs, if any of them seem familiar to you or someone you care about, know that you're not alone and help is available. One of the earliest and most common signs of hearing loss is needing to ask people to repeat themselves. You may notice it when you're at a family dinner or out with friends. Somebody across the table makes a joke and everybody starts laughing. You're looking around, not sure what was said, and you have to ask the person beside you, "Sorry, what was that?" The person may repeat themselves and you still might not get it all clearly. They repeat it and you may need them to repeat it once or even twice more and you're still not quite getting it. You may nod along, you may hope that it wasn't important, or you just withdraw from the conversation altogether. It's not just a once in a while thing. You may find yourself saying, "What?" or "Can you repeat that?" multiple times throughout the day, especially in group settings, if someone's speaking softly, or if they're not facing you directly. You may hear someone talking but still miss parts of the message, leaving you guessing or filling in the gaps. Over time, this can feel frustrating or even embarrassing. Others may feel that you're not paying attention when in fact your hearing is working harder than it used to and your clarity is slipping. Many people tell us that everyone sounds like they're mumbling. This is actually a very common sign of hearing loss. Speech can start to sound unclear or blended together, even when others are speaking normally. What's often missing are softer speech sounds, like s, f, sh, ch. These sounds give words their meaning, so when they start to fade, words run together. Words like three can sound like tree, or think can sound like ink. You may hear volume, but not detail. That's why it may feel like people aren't speaking clearly, when in reality, your ears are missing the sharper sounds that make speech easier to understand. Noisy environments are often where hearing changes become most noticeable. You may notice it somewhere like a busy restaurant. The server's taking orders, the dishes are clinking, the music is playing, and conversations are happening all around you. The person across the table starts speaking and you find that it's just blending in with all the background noise. You hear voices but find following conversations quite difficult when there's multiple speakers or people are speaking all at once. You might catch the beginning of the sentence but lose the end or miss the sentence entirely when someone's speaking from across the table. Another common sign of hearing loss is finding yourself filling in the gaps instead of hearing every word clearly. You may start relying on context and lip reading, even smiling and nodding along to get through conversations, especially in large groups and noisy environments. Over time, this can become more automatic. Rather than asking someone to repeat themselves again, you guess what's being said based on the general topic or the expressions on their faces. Over time, this can become automatic. You respond with a quick smile, a general comment, or a laugh, hoping that it fills the conversation. While this works sometimes, other times you realize too late that you missed something important. While these strategies can help you stay engaged, there are often signs that your hearing is working harder than it should. If you find yourself turning up the TV, radio, or phone volume louder than before, this can be another sign of hearing changes. Oftentimes, someone else notices first and points out the volume seems too loud. What's happening is your ears need more sound to pick up speech and details, but louder doesn't always mean clearer. Even at higher volumes, voices can still sound muffled or distorted. It can be frustrating when things seem loud enough, but still aren't very clear. Hearing loss doesn't just affect speech. You might start missing everyday sounds, like birds chirping, a doorbell ringing, or a microwave beep. Sounds that help us stay aware of and connected to our everyday life. Because these sounds fade so gradually, many people don't realize they're missing them until someone else points it out. These small moments gradually fade into the background until a loved one mentions it, or you find yourself relying more on visual cues, like flashing lights, checking a screen, or relying on other people's reactions. Hearing loss can often impact higher pitched sounds first, which can include electronic alerts, signals, and chimes that we rely on without thinking, including women and children's voices. As these everyday sounds become harder to hear, speech can become affected too. It can feel faster, incomplete, or harder to follow along, especially in noisier settings. When hearing becomes more difficult, your brain has to work harder to understand what's being said. It's constantly filling in gaps and guessing missing sounds. This extra effort can lead to listening fatigue. This leaves you feeling mentally drained after conversations, events, meetings, even if they don't seem particularly long or demanding. Many people are often surprised to learn that the exhaustion doesn't come from talking too much, but from the mental efforts required to listen and stay engaged in the conversations. Often, the people around you notice hearing changes before you do. They may mention that you don't respond when called, that you seem distracted, or that you're missing parts of what's being said. While these comments can seem frustrating, they usually come from a place of care. Your loved ones are noticing these patterns, usually before you do. Sometimes it's the small, repeated observations that are the first clues that indicate that your hearing has changed. It can be a friend mentioning that they repeated something, a loved one pointing out that you're asking others to repeat themselves more often, or even a colleague mentioning that you've been a bit quieter in meetings. Many of these signs may seem small on their own, but when several start showing up together, it's worth paying attention. These hearing changes happen gradually, which makes them easier to overlook. The good news is catching them early leads to easier conversations, less effort, and more confidence in everyday life. If any of this sounds familiar to you or someone you care about, we want you to know that help is available and we're here to support you. A hearing test is a simple and effective first step towards understanding what's going on with your hearing and knowing your options.